Addressing the 32nd Annual General Body Meeting of the Madras High Court Advocates Association, His Excellency the Governor of Tamil Nadu said, "It gives immense pleasure to me to be present amidst the guardians of law. In the first place, I would like to thank the members of your association on my behalf and on behalf of my wife for the cordial welcome you have offered to us this evening. I would also like to make some requests to the community of advocates through this meeting. The president of your association in his welcome address has made some very useful and long-term effective suggestions to the government in the wake of the changing legal attitude and the attitude of the people towards the courts of law. Your president also made some remarks about the increasing burden of cases on the courts, which in turn reduces the confidence of general public on the judicial functioning in our country. I quite agree with him that this problem is existing in our state for quite a long time, and though the government are taking adequate steps to solve the problems in this sphere then and there, wherever the situation warrants, it is not possible to completely get rid of these difficulties due to various administrative reasons. No one particular department of the government or no one particular group of officers are to be blamed for this unhappy situation. The whole judicial system should look into this matter, and the steps should also be taken within the shortest possible time to cure this defect and secure a good name in the minds of the educated and uneducated masses of our country. I assure you all on behalf of the government that I will render all the possible assistance to you within my constitutional powers and functions. Time and again, the fact that there exist vacancies both in the High Court and sub-courts have been brought to my attention. There were some problems with regard to the appointment of judges to the vacant seats some time before. But now all these problems have been sorted out and the situation has turned good to appoint suitable persons to the post of presiding judicial officers. I am also very glad to inform you that a list of persons to be appointed as judges in the Madras High Court has been already prepared and that it has been sent to the consideration and approval of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India. I hope and trust that after the finalization of the judges, the major problem existing before the advocates of the Madras High Court would be solved and that a new outlook would be given to the profession. But in these circumstances, I would not accept that the delay in the appointment of judges was the exclusive reason for the piling up of cases before the courts of law. I have come to understand from discussion with some eminent advocates that the repeated requests from the advocates, even from the senior advocates, for adjournment of cases for a future date was the foremost and main reason for the piling up of cases. It has to be noted that though the judges can refuse to adjust the cases for a future date, there is no option left since it is inevitable that without the cooperation and active participation of advocates of both parties to a legal dispute to adjudicate upon a legal conflict. Though the judges have discretion to decide a dispute ex parte, I have come to understand that procedure was followed only in rare cases due to procedural difficulties, some of which would further prolong the proceedings. Another reason which in this situation becomes prominent and noteworthy is that about the efficiency and capacity of the judges to dispose of the pending cases before them, adhering to strict legal principles and statutory enactments. It is a sad state of affair that when a need arises as to filling up of the vacancy for judge post, we have to search for apt persons. It is also to be noted that many eminent persons who are with caliber and determination refuse to accept the judge post when they are called upon to do so. So the government was left with no option than to choose the best amongst those willing to be appointed as judge. In this context, I would request all the members of your association not to deny the honor conferred when you have been called upon to discharge the functions of a judge. You have to take this advice very seriously if you are really willing to bring back the judicial system back into the processing stream of a national life. You should not take into consideration the huge money you may be earning in your advocating career. I would like to recall to your memory that recently the central legislature had passed a bill increasing the salary of judges, which our government have welcomed and is also implementing the provisions of that bill. Last but not least, one reason for the degradation of the status of judiciary in the minds of general public is that of the poor standard of law education. Unfortunately, this is so because of the poor standard of education itself, especially with special reference to English. The pattern of imparting English is ancient one. Our Indian students are unable to follow this as fast as they should. It is noteworthy in this connection that a law degree is open to almost any person who has qualified for a university degree irrespective of the subjects he had studied at the higher secondary level. This makes a way even to those who have completed their higher secondary course in science subjects to compete with those who have opted for vocational subject. This is an irregular method of prescribing requisite qualification for admission to a law college. One another aspect of poor standard of law education is that no limit of age had been prescribed. I would assure you in this connection that my government will look into all these matters and find out an earlier solution. I request you to cooperate with me and the government so that we can march towards prosperity and set an example. Thank you.